So I watched The Fault in Our Stars recently, and I didn't like it. It's not that it was bad, it's more the fact that it really just isn't my thing. And when I say that, I don't mean I dislike romance. I mean I don't like how it was handled in The Fault in Our Chromosomes. I mean Stars. Christ, there's cheesy, and then there's...
What's your name?
Hazel. Why are you staring at me?
Because you're beautiful.
Really? You just ruined this whole thing.
The whole thing?
Yes, this whole thing.
Oh, man.
You were doing really well, too.
I never lit one.
Hmm?
It's a metaphor, see? You put the thing that does the killing right between your teeth, but you never give it the power to kill you. A metaphor.
I don't like it. I hate it, and it makes me mad. I don't even like most romance films. They just make me cringe. The ones that I do like have heavy comedic elements, like Mean Girls. And go on, tell me I'm gay.
You're gay.
Nice one, mate. But the sad thing is, I do want to like romance. It's a great genre for evoking an emotional reaction out of the viewer. However, in my case, the most it evokes out of me is... I'm sorry for the overly dramatic reaction scenes, but that's really how romance films make me feel. They ain't bad, but they just don't work for me. Oh. Oh yeah. Hello and welcome to the Definitive Anime Retrospective, title not final might I add. I'm Colonel Cubbage and I'll be your host for this evening. Take off your jacket, I'll put some wine, reminisce on the early days, snuggle up on a leather sofa, and don't mind yourself. And let's talk about anime, shall we? And if you'd like to know any more information, just go and look in the description, because that says all. And without further ado, let's begin with episode 1. And if that's not the gayest thing you've ever heard, then I don't know what is. Your Fault in Our Over isn't too bad, but my god, does it try way too hard to be more realistic than it actually is. In fact, this is a problem with most romance films, constantly trying to force it into your head that
This definitely could happen.
when in reality, it comes off as well contrived.
But Colonel Cubbage, when will we ever find a film that achieves a sense of realism while simultaneously presenting us with an engaging and emotional love story?
I don't know. Why are you asking me? Like some sort of love guru? Fucking hell, that movie was shit as well, wasn't it? Ow. Byokuso 5 cm, or 5 centimeters per second, is a romantic drama by my main man, Makoto Shinkai, responsible for such works as Children Who Chase Lost Voices, or Journey to Agatha in the United Kingdom, and more recently, Garden of Words.
Oh my god, they're amazing.
5mm per minute is arguably Shinkai's greatest work, and is quite easily his most famous. I mean, yo, hands up. Yo, hands up, who watches anime and hasn't seen or heard of this movie? Raises a oh fuck it. 5 Miles Per Decade is probably the best romance movie I've ever seen, let alone one of the best movies I've ever watched.
Hey look, it is right on my favourite anime list. Oh no, whoever would have guessed.
But real talk now, guys. 5 inches per year is... That was a pretty good one, I actually kind of laughed at that. Right, enough with the shitty puns or whatever they are. Let's get deep, man. In a little over 60 minutes, 5 centimeters manages to tell one of the most heartwarming and most mature love stories that even our good old buddy Alfred Tennyson would tip his hat to. And he'll be brought up later on in the video, so shh. But I'll warn you now, I'm going to abstain from spoiling this anime, or at least I'm going to try to, but you know me, I'll probably end up spoiling it, so heads up. This is the kind of love story that don't turn out too well, you know what I'm saying? Think about that title for a minute. 5 centimeters per second. What does it mean? I'm not gonna answer it. You done yet? Good. It's the idea of love tearing apart. It's the loss of the feelings you once had for the one you held the most affection for, due to a variety of reasons. Maybe your fault, or it may be from other causes. 5 centimeters is split into 3 acts, and all revolve around our young male protagonist, Takaki Tono. I'm not sure. With all 3 exploring the ideas of love and loss. Still with me? No? Good. That means the retards have left by this point. For those of you who haven't seen this here beauty of a movie, let me give you a brief synopsis and hopefully not spoil everything in the process, but you know me, I probably will. Takaki Tono and Shinohara Akari, don't know how to do Japanese names, don't have a go at me, 2 very close friends and classmates, are torn apart when Akari's family is transferred to another region of Japan due to her family's job. Despite separation, they continue to keep in touch through mail. When Takaki finds out that his family is also moving, he decides to meet with Akari one last time. As years pass by, they continue down their own paths, their distance slowly growing wider, and their contact with one another fades. Yet they keep remembering one another and the times they have shared together, wondering if they will ever have the chance to meet once again. Hear that? Fucking In Fault in Our Stars, it's so tragic and shit, and fucking, my god, in like The Notebook, so perfect and shit. A love story that ends in tragedy and one that ends with perfection between the couple aren't bad premises for an ending. It's that they're always presented in literally the most convoluted manner possible. They feel forced and unnatural. It's not good. It's not good for me. Get this, kids. Love isn't all sunshine and rainbows. You can feel an immense and breathtaking feeling of love towards someone. Sometimes love is not requited, which means it's not given back, and sometimes those feelings just don't last forever. Let's explore this in Act 2. The theme of unrequited love in 5 centimeters per second is most prominent in its second act, like I said a few seconds before when I said we'd explore it in Act 2. In his 3rd year of senior high, Takaki becomes the object of affection for a classmate of his, Kanai Sumida. Again, bad at Japanese pronunciation. But Takaki is still clinging to the past. He is still struggling with coming to terms that the love of his life is no longer a part of his life. Kanai is notably devastated. She can't offer her love in return for his because he still is unable to move on. She accepts that she cannot be with him, but acknowledges that she will be in love with him for an indiscernible amount of time. And that is basically Act 2 in a nutshell. There's a lot more to it than that. How about you watch it if you haven't, you dickhead? Personally, I've never seen this theme of unrequited love tackled in a movie before. In any other movie, or fucking any other anime, they'd have ended up together, and Takaki would have gotten over Akari. Or he'd have a very long scene of exposition on how he can't get over it. I don't think anime knows what the rule of show don't tell is. It's just tell, and forget what show is, because I don't know what word means. This scene in Sword Art Online is literally the cheesiest thing you'll ever see in your entire life. The writers of SAO can't think of any other way to portray their love for each other besides talking. It's boring, and it makes me feel like a fucking idiot. Do you know what anime does a great job of? Being shit. There's a great video on YouTube called The Cheesiest Most Cliché Scene in Any Anime Ever, and it's from Zero no Skyma. I'm going to play a clip of it, and oh my god, it hurts. I know I'm going on a tangent, but oh. Oh, hi everybody. I'm going to let you in on the background of my character's thoughts so that he is developed in the most contrived and unnatural way possible so that it entertains plebeians and people with 42 brain cells. But you want to know something? That doesn't always happen in real life. You don't always get over things. In real life, the immense feeling of love that you have for another person can last with you for the rest of your life. The hole they leave may never be filled. To abstain from spoiling the frankly delightful scenes late into Act 1, I'll just say that Takaki's last meeting with Akari is one of the most poignant depictions of love between two human beings I've ever seen portrayed in fiction. They don't need to eat each other's mouths out for us to understand how much they are in love with each other. Hell, they don't even have to tell it to each other for us to understand the extent of their feelings. In any other anime or romance movie for that matter, we'd have it spelled out for us just how much they whooped each other. Something as simple as this. Says greater volume for the extent of their feelings for one another than this.
Trust me. You don't really want to be with me.
Yes, I do.
See, the thing is, there's a reason why I've been alone all this time. I'm comfortable that way. And I think it would just be a lot easier if we forgot everything that happened and I just left.
You're right. That would be easier.
I'm scared.
Me too.
What am I, a fucking retard, man? Am I a fucking retard, huh? I know what this is. Lou trying to snub me out because of his crazy little nephew being around. Well, vive la fucking France, man!
It's powerful, moving material and a sublime example of how love is such a dangerous yet beautiful aspect of life. Takaki couldn't give his love to Kanai because his heart belonged to someone else, someone who may or may not hold the same feelings he still does. In a way, Takaki and Kanai are perfect for each other, as they are both suffering with their love not being requited. Takaki's refusal to move on is through no fault of his own. The love he holds for Akari is too strong for him to overcome. It's a natural flaw for human beings that some may manage with better than others. This film tells a very powerful message and will resonate with a lot of people. I take a lot from it, and I interpret it as the idea of overcoming love is to open up your life to more love. It may be hard to combat your feelings, and you may want to forget about them, but it'll do you wonders in the long run. Takaki may have had a memorable relationship with Kanai, but he couldn't bring himself to forget about his feelings for Akari, and to be honest, who can blame him? Love's a hard and complicated human emotion, arguably the most complicated. But you know, as a wise man once said, "'Tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all." That wise man was Alfred Tennyson, and it appears we have come full circle. But it's not the circle's not finished yet because I've still got a bit more to say. Nowhere is this quote more evident in the film than in its final scene. Without uttering a word, it is one of the most wonderful scenes ever put on film, let alone in anime. That smile says more about the feelings of the character than this.
Why are you staring at me?
Because you're beautiful.
Hey, have you ever been dragged to the sidewalk and beat until you pissed blood?
Ever wishes it could. While one may have overcame their feelings better than the other, and while they didn't end up together like they both wished they could have, they are both happy. Because they remember being happy. They loved and lost, but what is important is that they still loved. While Takaki may be saddened that he was unable to spend the rest of his life with Akari, he takes solace in his happiness. His smile shows us that he can take control of his life. Because in just over 60 minutes, I felt more towards these characters than I have in any other romance story. This is the most realistic depiction of love I've ever seen. And what's so magical about it is that it's portrayed through not only animation, but through the medium of anime. A medium noted for its immaturity and irrational storytelling. A medium of simple moving pictures is all it is. It's technically lifeless, yet it achieves more than any live action film wishes it could. It breathes a joyous feeling of warmth and empathy into an otherwise tried and genuinely tasteless genre at this time. It can be described as nothing short of a masterpiece in my eyes. It's a moving tale of the harsh reality of love, and I wouldn't have my romance done in any other way. Because to love is to truly live. I think this is how it's put best. Though you may love someone with all your heart and feel as if you could never feel as much affection for another person in your existence, it's just another chapter in your life that you have the ability to reminisce on. 5 centimeters per second is how fast a petal falls from a tree. Each moment it falls, it's beautiful, but with every beautiful thing in life, there's an end. Thus, when the petal reaches the ground, another petal falls again. So if you're with someone right now that you love very much, cherish every moment of it. Love every minute of it. Grasp all the happiness you can take from it. Because you never know when the chapter ends from there. People control their destiny, but sometimes destiny has a set path that brings each person to greater heights. Live, love, and breathe life. Because that is to truly live. This was taken from a YouTube comment. If you don't believe that, the link's in the description. I couldn't think of any better way to end this video than by quoting Max Muller. A flower cannot blossom without sunshine, and man cannot live without love.